Hello, last one of the day. How are we all doing? Are we a little bit drunk? Good. Have we had loads of food? Good. Allow me to introduce Mr. Jon Parry from the Mash Inn.
Hello. What?
After you,
Thank
sir.
you very much. Right, I put this one on just so we're not here too long to cook it, but we're going to look at Côte de Boeuf from H.G. Walter. There's a lot of meat here today from H.G. Walter, really good butchers. It's the best thing to cook on a grill. And it's kind of like the story of how cooking over fire started with the Côte de Boeuf on the bone steak. Getting to the machine about 5 years ago, I was needing a head chef job, my first head chef job, and my boss who's here today, he was desperate for a head chef. So he gave a chance to me and never looked back, but yeah, he was quite desperate, so it was great. We had to open in 2 months, and I'd never cooked over fire properly before, so it's kind of like it was literally a trial by fire, baptism of fire. But what you learn very quickly is the things you can't do over fire. Everything you've trained for over the years, you realise you can't do any of that. There's no grill on top. There's no fire on top for a grill. It's all underneath and from the sides. So you have to go back to basics and work out what you can do. And then you find all the cool stuff you can do, and then you just play with it. You end up just picking up any fruit and vegetable, any piece of meat, just putting it near the fire and being like, oh, that's good. And that tastes great. So that's what we're doing here with the Côte de Boeuf. Loads of molten sea salt straight on the grill. And it's going to go on hot, then a bit cooler. Hot and a bit cooler. It's at room temperature, which is obviously the best way to cook a big piece of meat. But what I want to do, I want to get the heat into the steak, but without burning the outside. So what I'm going to do is cook hot, slow, hot, a bit like when you got a microwave meal. And you don't put it in for 5 minutes straight. You put it in for 3 minutes, take it out, stir it, because you want the middle to come up to temperature. That's what we're going to do here. Get the middle to about 40 degrees. Forgot my thermometer, so I'm just going to guess. Not yet. And then that's going to be hopefully medium rare, perfect sliced. And then we're going to make basically a steak sandwich with some coriander. We're going to brush it with some butter, wild garlic butter, and that's about it.
So
really simple.
Anyone that doesn't know what Côte de Boeuf is,
Okay, so you've got the rib. You know, like the forerib, when you have like the roasted joints of the beef, or it could be called the chop if it's on like a lamb or a pork. It's that. It's basically a beef chop, like the huge bit from like the top bit here, kind of thing. But yeah, they're expensive and they're awesome. They've got loads of connected tissue, loads of quite a bit of fat, but loads of meat, and it's on the bones. So you get like the best of both worlds. Really, loads of flavour. The meat's tender, but then all the fattiness is great.
do you prefer meat on the bone?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I think the least favourite thing for me is having a fillet.
Yeah, dead.
It's good
Dead.
for tartar. I love it with tartar. It's perfect. The texture's
Dead.
great.
It's dead.
But I just don't get it. There's just not really much. It's a bit like when you got like a venison loin with no fat. It's like it's great, but there's not much going on. And like the fire gives you so much character and flavour. You want to be able to lend the meat to the fire to get all that fat dripping down. It's going to start smoking itself and start literally. It's just like a circle of flavour.
I think fillet's just. It's all right. It's all right.
have
It's fine.
another
It's
one.
fine. We got another one. It's cool. Don't worry about it. Don't watch it.
I've had one beer. My limit's 2.
I haven't.
That's my second there.
I feel that fillet's just the thing that was like the thing to eat in like the 80s, and it had that like elitism background behind it, and it was like, I'm gonna go eat fillet or fillet or whatever you want to call it. But it's the least flavoursome. It's the least working muscle, the least fat content.
Yeah.
For me, the shittest bit, I'd rather eat hanger steak. I'd rather eat
Anglais.
Yeah, of course, bro, of course.
But like the fillet I'd use for like charcuteries, you do like lomo.
Yeah,
You do like pork or something like that. Like, that's great. But yeah, this is the one you want, like you say, the hanger and all that. The skirt and everything is made.
What's your favourite kind of grill setup?
Well,
Like,
this is similar to what I have at the Mash,
Yeah.
where we have things that go up and down with the wheels and everything.
Like Argentinian.
Yeah, exactly. And then we've got a wood fire oven as well. But yeah, just literally, you don't need much. You can see how lo-fi this is. You literally just need that and something you're not going to burn in your garden. Whatever. It's like you can go as lo-fi as you want, or you can spend the money on green eggs, wood fire ovens, and all the fancy stuff. But yeah, that's the beauty about wood fire cooking or charcoal cooking. It's just simple, back to basics, and you don't just have to think about the food. You have to think about the fuel. You're cooking the fuel before you cook the food. So it's just a whole nice natural kind of feel. And that's what I love at work. Like And that's like, one of the things you learn is like you spend the first half of your day cooking the fuel, and the second half is then when you cook the meat or the fish or the vegetables or the fruit. And yeah, it's just, I love it.
So you going hot to cold, hot to cold, hot to cold.
Yeah.
I guess you end up with a more rested steak by the end of it. If you think about it, that the heat makes the muscle contract, right?
Yeah.
So when you've got like a really fat, thin steak from like the supermarket and you cook it really hard and fast.
Minute steak,
it curls up, right? And that's where you've stuck it under so much intense heat that it tenses. Now, if you go from hot to cold, you're allowing the muscles to like contract and then relax and then contract. So you're slowly building the exterior flavor, but not compromising the meat in the middle.
You just got to imagine you're the steak and what you want. A nice crispy outside, nice warming in the middle, not going too hard, because if I cook the outside to like 120 degrees and take it off, it might rest nicely, but you have to, the error margins are so fine that what you want to do, I want to make sure that steak's going to cook perfectly. So I'm taking my time. I'm not going to blast it with all the heat, trying to rush it, even though I think I'm time constrained. It's the last one of the day, so a little bit time constrained. But yeah, it's just, just be as gentle as possible and just like, be in love with the piece of meat, because that's expensive. That costs like 20 quid, that steak. And I don't want it to be rubbish. And like, I bought it that thick and that big and on the bone, so I've got a lot of error to be able to cook it nicely. But yeah, I'm gonna. It's still blue. But yeah, so that's gonna carry on cooking for a bit, and then we're gonna go on to the next bit. So I'm gonna brush. So basically, I'm gonna make. I've got some like bread dough here. It's called chapper bread. So when I first got to the mash, like I said, imposter syndrome. I didn't know what I was doing, and I was on my own. Well, I had a lad that lived next door who was my pot wash and my sous chef, and he was only 19 and going to uni, so I was on my own. So it was a bit like, what am I going to do? So you start reading about the guys that do it really well. Like, was it yesterday Nicholas Ekstad was here? Yeah. So like he...
Or Big Hassan.
Yeah.
Sick.
I'm not going to talk about you while you're here, man. I'm talking about you behind your back.
I'm playing.
But yeah, so basically, I made some butter from smoked cream, where you take a piece of like charcoal or wood from the fire, plunge it into cream and cover it up. And then that's what Nicholas Ekstad done. That's the one thing I took from his book, and it's like the coolest ass shit ever. It's just like, it's incredible how much flavour you can get into this cream, and then we churn that into butter, so you get like a natural smoked butter, which I've done here, and mixed it with a lacto-fermented wild garlic. So where we work in the Chilterns, there's wild garlic everywhere at the start of spring. So we get loads of it, we chop it up and then mix it with salt and then leave it for like 6 months.
So lacto ferment?
Yeah,
is
so
salt,
lots of salt, and it just like sits there and slowly ferments. You get more and more flavour. It keeps its colour, and it's just a way that means I can have a fresh garlic flavour throughout the whole year without having to buy in garlic all the time. Just using what's there.
Are you doing that like the last 20% of the cook, or are you going to slowly build the flavour now?
Well, I'm going to do that on the bread, because I don't want that to burn on there. Cool. I don't want it to ruin the flavour of anything in there. So you're going to get the flavour on it, but from the bread.
Sick.
And then the bread's from. When was Francis Molman here? Was he here way back? Francis Molman did he come to Metopia, like one of the early ones? Yeah. So Francis Molman, Argentinian chef, one of like the kingpins of like this kind of cooking, Argentinian cooking. And again, his book, like literally, like I said backstage, like you stand on the shoulders of giants. Like I didn't think I was very good, so I was like, I need to get good. So then you read up about the masters and how they do it. And this was his. I used to bake bread every day in a really terrible drop-down oven, and I was just like burning it half the time because I was on my own and that. And then I realised that you could just make bread by making dough, rolling it out, putting it straight on the grill, make a flatbread, and that tastes better than any little bun or any little loaf that you've made, kind of thing. So yeah, that's Francis Molman chapper bread, which just means hot plate bread.
Move that.
Where are we gonna go? I'm gonna go over here. That's all good. It's a place called Radnage. It's the other side of High Wycombe, just off the M40, near Tame, Marlow. So you got like Tom Kerridge area and stuff like that. But yeah. So we made this dough yesterday. It's really simple. It's just flour, water, a little bit of rapeseed oil and Maldon sea salt and fresh yeast. And literally mix it, leave it an hour, and it's good to go. This one's been sat out all day, so it's quite a forgiving dough. It's not like the ones where you get sourdoughs that have got like 1,000 instructions and it takes 3 days. It's going to be incredible, but you want an easy bread that, again, is quite forgiving. Because when you cook it, especially if you're cooking... Oh, cheers, man.
I got you, bro. Don't worry.
You didn't say you're going to help.
I got you.
Oh, thank you, man. But yeah, so we're just going to roll this out. So I sing when I work quite a lot, so there might be some humming.
That's all right.
There's a bit of Louis Prima on the radio this morning. So
do you prefer flatbreads as steak sarnies?
Well, no, Warburton's toast is the best bread on the planet.
Fair play.
But I'm not making that, and I haven't bought any with me. But yeah, but no, this is the next best thing.
Do you know, I hate when you get a baguette and it like scrapes the bit of the roof of your mouth and you bleed. Pisses me off, bro. Why am I eating glass? Why?
Because you shop at Asda, man.
Yeah,
you need to upgrade.
I haven't got the Natura plug yet, mate. Come on.
We've got a Marks and Spencer's near us, man. It's a spinning.
There's no Waitrose in everything.
Right, let's see where we're at.
So how long do you leave the steak up to get to room temp? So from fridge cold to room temp.
So that came out of the fridge this morning, and I've just left it on the side covered. I knew I was going to cook it, so it's fine. But I'd leave it out like 2 hours before. Yeah. Steak like that. Obviously, if you've got like a joint of meat, if you do the big rolled four rib, you want to try and leave that out overnight. But that's what I do if I do like a Sunday roast. You cover it nicely so it doesn't get any flies or whatever, but just leave it out all night. So in the middle's already 18, 19 degrees. You only need to get it up to 40 degrees. From the fridge, it's 2 degrees. Trying to get that middle up is impossible. And like you say, contraction and everything. Yeah. Just going to, I don't want to say piss out, but I've just said it.
Piss out?
Yeah, it's going to piss out all the liquid. Right, that's not good. Yeah, cheers, man. But, yeah.
But like the one thing I learned about working grill sections as a chef was laid out all my meats. So like if I knew I had 45 covers on and we only had one steak on, I'd write at least 20 people are going to buy them. They all come to room temp. We then seal, rest, everything sat at medium rare, and then finish it. And
yeah.
Like, but I do find cooking steaks from room temperature as a novice isn't the easiest thing to do, because the whole touchy-feely thing goes out the window.
Yeah, well, that's the whole how do you tell? Well, like I said, I forgot my thermometer, so when I had this on the menu, we'd do like 8 at a time, and it's nuts because there's fire everywhere. You have to keep moving them around. But we've got a thermometer. People say, oh, can't you touch it? And no, it's like, I could probably guess, but when I'm busy, and if you're cooking for other people, you've got loads of stuff going on, it's like, why rely on your touch at a moment of stress? So you get thermometer about 1 inch away from the bone, in the thick bit of the meat, get it in the middle, and if you get to 40 degrees, you're laughing. That's medium rare, nice and rare. 45 is going into medium, and then over 50, you are going to start losing that redness and all that stuff. But
would you still go to 40 on a big cut?
So what we used to do in the four ribs is put something spiky and cold into it, take it out and put it on your lip. And if it's not cold, if it's getting there, then take it out and leave it. Because again, that's going to take longer to rest. I reckon that's going to be rare, man.
Why is that steak foaming?
I think I'm not sure.
It's the
You meant to be my assistant, man.
The aging process.
Yeah. Thank you, man.
No worries.
I would talk about the Maillard reaction.
Sorry.
Yeah.
So we've cooked. What have we cooked? 15 minutes.
Yeah, it wasn't very long.
15 minutes.
Yeah.
And then rest for at least half.
Yeah. Well, I think the good thing about that, like you say, if you cook them off before, if you know you need it in an hour's time, cook it off. Leave it there, and then you can flash it. It's gonna, as long as you don't put it near something cold, as long as it's like warm, it's gonna stay nice. And then you can just flash it, and then off you go. So it's something that you can do before, like when you do dresses. You're not gonna, it's something you might not think you can do a long time before and leave it. But it's, as long as you've looked after it and it's still rare, medium rare, you can leave it half an hour. Again, like I said, as long as it doesn't go proper cold, keep it somewhere warm, and then you can just flash, bang, and go. So it becomes the easiest job if you put the love into it and thought about it at the start.
Would you rest it again after flashing it? Or would you flash
when
and
I'm
then
in service and I'm going down, now you have to go. But as long as you get that rest, all the meat's just gone relax, and all the liquid's inside. And you know, as soon as you slice into it, it just starts pissing. Yeah, if all the water starts coming out.
Releasing its juices.
As long as when the juice is still coming out, and then you know you haven't rested it long enough. And what I would do is stop, put it back on the tray and let it rest. If it starts just bleeding everywhere, you don't want that.
Yeah.
Right. I reckon I could do the...
Are you putting that entire dough on that grill there?
I was going to cut it.
Oh, okay, fine. I was thinking, how are we going to do that?
How many sandwiches do you want? 4? We can cut them small. How many sandwiches do you want?
I want one. I've only had one thing to do. 4's plenty. So why the sandwich? So this you said this was the first thing.
Well, the reason why I wanted to show the steak. I think this steak is the most important thing. It taught me the most about how to cook over the fire. From everything we've spoken about, can be then transferred to everything.
Yeah.
Chicken, duck,
Yeah.
lamb, venison, everything, even vegetables. You're just thinking all the time, I want colour on the outside, I want it rested in the middle, I want it super tasty, loads of salt, things like that. It's just like a gateway that opened up all these ideas. And then once I mastered that, I can cook any meat on the grill kind of thing. You just know. You've got the touch, you've got the feel.
Yeah.
Even like your inner clock, you just know that that's going to be good, that kind of thing. But yeah, so that's why I've done that. And then this is a bit different. As in, people don't tend to make bread at home because it is a faff. Like, you got bread makers which are rubbish, and then your ovens are usually rubbish. But this is just an easy way to knock out a bread, get it on the grill, and then you can enjoy sandwiches, tacos, whatever, you know what I mean, wraps. But yeah, let's see what we're gonna get.
So quite a high heat, straight on. Yeah. Leave it, let it do its thing. Are we looking for these breads to rise, or are we just going for colour?
Just wanted to cook nicely at the moment.
Yeah.
I don't know. Thing is, I don't know this grill, so it's a bit of a chance where I'm putting it on there. But when you've got your own barbecue, oven, and anything that you use all the time, you pick up where the hot bit is, where the cold bit is. You get a feel, well, you should do if you cook a lot, get a feel of your barbecue and know how to work it. So then that's why at work, I know exactly where I can put everything, because I know what the kind of temperature's feeling and stuff like that. So you do fall in love with your grill. And also the fuel, the food, you fall in love with all of it because you're tending to it all the time, and then you just pick it up. Like I said, I had like imposter syndrome. Like I've been a chef for like 10 years, but this was just all making it up as you go along, and then always having to do service at the end of it, which is really scary. And then and we're still open after 5 years, so that'll do.
Yeah, nice. It's quite a fluffy bread. Yeah, it's got some texture to it. You haven't gone super thin on it.
No. If we're going to have a steak sandwich, you might as well have a thick piece.
True, you want to chew, don't you? So then that's getting brushed with our smoked butter. And then we're just going to go meat and salt.
Yeah, I got some coriander because you got to have a salad, innit?
Coriander?
Here we go.
Let's pick it.
Green. No, it'll be all right.
Go straight in like that,
yeah?
Yeah. Your favourite cut of beef?
Yeah, this and anglais.
Anglais.
Just they're two different things. Like if you can get hold of anglais is like from this bit here on the front, and it's incredible. You're like literally. I thought you were going to show me it. It's not from there.
Isn't it?
No, but yeah, anglais, bavette, that kind of skirt meat or hanger meat kind of thing is like incredible on the grill because you can cook it quite rare. You can get away with cooking it quite rare, and yeah, it's fantastic. But it's not very common. It's a bit of a chefy thing.
Yeah, it
It's
is.
a chefy thing.
Do you get sick of eating steaks?
What?
Do you get sick of eating steaks? No, honest, legit question.
I don't eat it enough because like me and the girlfriend are like we're conscious about the meat consumption kind of thing. So when I think the steak, if you get it from somewhere like H.G. Walter and you have it once a month and you really look after it, and it's a celebration. It's a bit like when you kill a whole animal on a farm and you enjoy it. I think that's cool and that's fine. But yeah, eating meat for the sake of eating meat every day is just it's fallen out of fashion.
I can tell you hand on heart, every steak I ever cooked in a restaurant that I carved, I ate a slice off.
Yeah.
And now I can't eat any steak. I can't do it. I can't do it.
Chef treat.
Done with it.
Right.
So what's it feel like? Can I poke it?
You can poke my meat, sure.
It's got quite a bounce to it. Still warm.
Okay.
Nice. I quite like.
This is the first time we've met, and I think we get along quite well.
Innuendos. There's a cheesiness to it. Do you know what I mean? Like
that's been aged 30 days. Yeah. that's been aged 30.
I got heckled. The last one they heckled me. Mother.
Leave him alone.
No, but there is a cheesiness. Like if you walk into a meat fridge, that's what aged steaks taste like. I feel like.
Yeah. Well, it's literally mould. You're smelling the mould.
Sick.
And it's in this country that we really appreciate that. But when you get like the USADA steaks,
dead.
And they've been aged for like a minute, and it's like some people like them, but I like the way that we look after our beef usually and really age it and get into it. But not as bad as like the guys in Scandinavia where they age it for like 6 months, 8 months of that. But yeah, right. I think that's cooked. It looks cooked. The bread's quite easy to tell you when it's cooked.
I'm looking forward to this. Are we going to go in little containers? little trays, or we're just going to chop it up?
I don't know what you want. What you want?
You tell me what you want.
I'll put some more bread on.
All right, cool. I'm going to do this while you put some more bread on. If there's any questions about steak, charcoal, us, what's going on, please do shoot. Just shoot them. Shoot a question now. You, shoot a question. You don't have to.
Heavily. Well, I use Malden sea salt. I went to see them down in Malden. They're great, and the salt is great. It's known for being pretty good.
I've never been.
But you use Malden sea salt. Yeah. It's just it's in every supermarket now. They're super busy. But yeah, it's just that I use. It's a bit posh. I wouldn't put anything else. Salt doesn't burn when you cook it. Sugar would burn, although you wouldn't say that. Again, that would burn. On a grill, you want to be careful. I'll put a bit of veg oil on there for the salt to stick, but I wouldn't put pepper on there. It's going to burn. And you don't want those acrid flavors and smells coming. You got to respect the grill, because whatever you put on it, it's gonna fuck it up.
The best thing to do if you do want to add flavor to steaks and stuff is make a resting tray. So like I do confit garlic resting trays. So confit garlic, flowering oregano, slices of lemon, dip it, and then flash it again, and then you've got that extra bit of flavor. But with a steak like this, you'll eat this steak and you'll be like, this steak doesn't need anything but salt, bread, and what he's got. Do you know what I mean? So marination on beef's just a long thing. Let me stand here. Look, wait. Go, there you go. Go. Sick. Yeah.
So this has been on for like hours. You can tell it's calm. It's like if you need to get the grill on quick, oops, because I need to start cooking, then it's dangerous. Because one, this charcoal at the start and wood at the start gives off some noxious fumes that are like you're not going to enjoy. So yeah, you want to get that grill on. Ideally, you've cooked the day before and you're just using the heat from last time you had your grill on, and then drag it all back, and it's pretty quick. But you know the old thing when you've got a barbecue, it's like, oh, I need to leave it for 3 hours and then cook on it. It's definitely, yeah. There is about 70 degrees, 60 degrees, and there it's going to be it's going to be way over 100. You know what I mean, the actual charcoal is going to be over 1,000, but like, it's going to be over 100 degrees. It's going to be, yeah.
I'll give you a rule of thumb, right? So 6 inches above your grill, yeah? If you can count to 1, charring vegetables, cooking fish. If you can count to 2, chicken. 3 count, you're in the gentle zone. That's when you do lamb, that's when you do beef. Anything before a 3 count, you're just going to fuck it. So put your hand over, I can count to 3, like Mississippi, like 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi, 3 Mississippi. It's not about being hard. It's not like, 1, 2, 3, done. You got to take your time. Yeah, exactly. You got to take time and control because, like this. Would you say this was a £20 steak?
It cost me 20 quid.
Cost you £20 to eat that steak in a restaurant with profit margins and stuff. You're looking at about 86 quid, right? So if I put your steak on a 1 count and I fuck it, it's fuck for everyone. So like you need to respect the charcoal as much as you put the respect and the effort into sourcing the ingredients. It all starts there, innit? Thank you. Cheers. Thanks. Sick. I want some sandwich.
Yeah, I think we're good.
Let's go.
I'm just going to flash that because it's a bit blowy.
Sick. Who's excited for some sandwich, ladies and gentlemen? Last one of the day. Oh, sorry. Question, my brother. Sorry. My bad. Tell me.
Normally people that apologise at the beginning generally aren't sorry. However, Chef, can I challenge you?
To what?
You mentioned up there.
Yeah.
When you said it's cheesy, you said, but that's mold.
Okay. Where's this going?
Yeah.
If you've got mold on your steak, you haven't got the humidity or the temperature right in your fridge. When you dry age meat, it shouldn't be mouldy.
I just cook, bro.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
No, it's not moldy, but it's great. It's literally the meat. The meat is breaking down. It's decomposing into its constituent parts. So the amino acids are starting to break down, but it's stuff like that. So the cheesiness is a part of that, and it's going to start. If I leave it too long, it will start to grow mold, visible mold, and then that'll stop it. That is very much a possibility. I've got the pink salt bricks in the fridge. But again, the fridge is always open and close, open and close. No, definitely not. It's very difficult. HG Walter have a great dry age room. They have 1,000 ribs in their dry, and it's perfect. No, definitely not. Definitely not.
Do you work for HG? Do you work for HG? All right, cool.
I was there. I was
Thank you.
there on
Sorry,
Thursday.
I've got one
pleading
here. I'm
with
coming
them.
back. My bad, bro. My bad. Sorry. I'll make sure you get some steak. It's not moldy. It's not moldy. It's not moldy. Go on. My favourite steak side, Salsa Verde, all day, every day. Because you've got clean, acidic garlic and anchovy, loads of mustard, done. Not a fan of chimichurri. Everyone makes chimichurri. I'm sick of it. Favourite steak side?
Hollandaise, man.
Hollandaise. Old school. Classic.
Yeah.
Best potato side.
What do you mean, chips?
I guess so. Chips on mash.
It depends whether it's summer or winter. Well, I was always giving chips in the summer and then mash in the winter.
Or boulanger. Boulanger is a great one. Go.
Boulanger is nice.
What wood do I cook with? What wood do you cook with, sir?
Well, it's where we live, where we work and live, it's all beech woods. Although they are cutting down every ash tree in the country, so there's lots of that about. But yeah, there's some fruit wood I use, which is the best. It's like apple, walnut's good, and then cherries are awesome. But yeah, a lot of beech I use, and that's great. It's nice hardwood, so it sticks about for a while. It takes a while to burn, but yeah, you want hardwood so it lasts a bit longer. And again, less fumes from that.
Shoot.
What's your hierarchy of cuts of beef?
Raw hierarchy. That's a big one. Ask my man.
So
Sick. Hierarchy.
he was angry, man.
Yeah, he is, bro. I'll go.
Cote de Boeuf rib, #1, and then you said like hanger and all that.
Yeah.
Well, no, sirloin's great. It's got that bit on the top which is shit. But
I'd go ribeye.
yeah.
Ribeye first, then I'm going like hanger, then I'm going sirloin.
If it's payday, I go T-bone, man. You got loads of stuff.
I think T-bones are shit though. T-bones are shit. T-bones, if you got like a kilo T-bone, they're too hard to cook. And then
Again, it's fillet and sirloin.
yeah, fillet's dead. Who wants fillet? I don't care if it's got 2 bits of meat on it. Hello, hi, go on, shoot, shout, go. You only have 1, but I'll give them to you. Go. Would I have a smoked steak? Anglais.
2 minutes. Well, I like it blue.
Yeah.
So like a minute each side, rest it, slice it thin. And then, yeah, because it is a bit chewy. And if you serve it in a restaurant, you have to tell people it's going to have a bit of chew to it.
Yeah.
Where this is going to be like melty butter, where anglais is going to have the chew. So, but yeah, cook it. I don't cook a steak over blue, but if I'm for myself. But yeah.
Smoked steak.
It
never had it.
should smoke on here if you cook it for long enough. Like the Cote de Boeuf, you're going to get the smoky flavour. So messing around. Problem is, if you over smoke a steak, then it's just the texture goes a bit not nice. So yeah, I think just get a good grill set up, and then the smokiness will take care of itself.
Normal people, nothing over medium, please. Please, allow it. Please. Any more? Shoot, last one of the day. Go, man in the front. What's my favourite restaurant?
I work at the Mash Inn.
The Mash Inn. The last restaurant I ate in was Brat. Yeah,
Oh yeah,
Brat's a big one.
I went
Brat's
to
a big
the other
one.
one. What's the pop-up one?
My favourite that I can go to at any time. Little 30. Only been to Nando's once. Dead. Don't ever take me Nando's. Popolo in Shoreditch. Little 30-seater pasta restaurant. I used to work with the head chef at Theo Randall's, and it's just legit pasta all day long.
Nice.
Popolo. Put it down. Write it. I see you writing it. Write it. He's got a Parmigiano t-shirt on. My guy. Yes. I know who you are. You've been here every time, and I see it, and I love it and appreciate it. Any more? Go, my man. Yeah, bro. No cap, of course. My dad said in the last video that he taught me everything I knew, and I spent 11 years in kitchens. So he works in a factory. Go. Sorry? My dad is Camille. The last time I came on stage, it was me and my dad. But since then, I do a YouTube channel, and like the best viewed videos were the ones of him
That's
in,
my bit.
which is a piss take, to be honest. We all love your dad. Yeah, thanks. Cheers. Not that I'm jealous or nothing, obviously. Any more? Go. Dead. No, for real. I went to Sri Lanka last summer. I was pretty much a vegan for 2 weeks. Wasn't that bad.
Yeah, no, curry.
Honest,
you
wasn't that bad.
survive on curry easy.
Yeah,
bro,
wasn't that
easy,
bad.
man.
Wasn't that bad. You have to stay entertained.
Jackfruit, man. Get on there.
For me, vegans, right? I don't want mock meat. Yeah? I don't want something that tastes like meat. Like, this isn't bacon. I know it's not fucking bacon, bro. I don't want
It's
it.
pronounced faking.
No, just eat veg if you're gonna eat. If you're gonna eat, if you're
Well,
gonna
that's
be
it. There's
vegan,
enough.
eat
There's
veg.
enough vegetables. You got like beefsteak. What's the beefsteak mushroom?
Dead.
Like, mushrooms are really meaty, and then like aubergines.
Yeah.
You can put so much cooking and flavour, especially over the grill.
Yeah.
If you peel an aubergine.
The last-
Again, you forget that it's not meat. You're just like, this tastes sick. It's got loads of flavour in it, and I'm eating it in a taco or whatever, and I don't even know the difference.
Honey and Co, who were on stage before, the peach and the endive and the almonds, vegan, buff, thought about, travelled, found something new. Just stop eating fucking mushrooms all the time and make things interesting. Go.
When are you two having a Netflix series?
Whenever you want, make it happen. Make it happen.
I've got a spare room
also,
of mine, man.
Netflix are shit, and they don't pay. They're dead. Next, Amazon. I'll back Amazon. Go, my man.
In a pudding.
Ever. I think bone marrow is very overrated. Just because.
Oh, you get St. John, it's fine.
Yeah, that's at St. John.
That's
but
fine.
other than that, not. Nah. I just don't like it. I feel that it's too fatty. It coats your mouth. Also, while we're on this subject, Wagyu's dead. Wagyu shit. If you've spent £80 on a Wagyu steak, you're a mug. Go on. What spot? Flavour? Pork and prawn or pork and three corner leek,
Bro,
whatever
I
it's
had my hand
called.
up first.
Go on.
Cheers, man. I got my.
Panda dim sum, Leytonstone. Yeah, banging. Bro, just a couple aunties in the back doing them, banging, fresh. Go on. What bone? Give me a bone. Let them know.
Cheers, man.
They're staying there, first one that gets
Go for
it.
man.
Favourite dim sum? Favourite
Well,
dumpling?
Mama Lamb, man, in Brixton Market
Sick.
was always the one.
Yeah.
She like just seeing. I don't know if it was Mama Lamb, but it's just an old lady just there like bang, 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 bang. I'm just like, do it again. Yeah, that was sick. But then I got inspiration from that, doing like a pudding bow at where I work, where we don't put like custard and cut down like smoked pineapple inside a bow and serve that with like rum syrup. Just like something a bit like fun. Again, just stealing people's stuff all the time. And then like our emblem at the machines of pineapples, it's like, it has to be somewhere. So things like that, like, yeah, just getting drunk one night and being like, I'll just do a pudding bow. And then just like doing something with chocolate in it and that. But yeah, just that kind of stuff.
Also, Dumpling Shack, Spitalfields Market. Soup dumplings, bang, go.
Steak sandwich is ready.
Yeah, last question, go.
Cooking at home, what's your dish to impress?
Vongole. Everyone eat steak sandwiches!
No problem. There's scraps there.